Alrighty, here we are. Hi everyone, how you guys doing? Yeah, another awesome Monday night. The weather in LA is beautiful, a crisp middle of December, 75 degrees today. Another beautiful day to be alive. How's it going, Brian?
Great. It was actually 85 in Burbank today.
Woo!
Yeah, had to send some
Valley.
photos to Ari Shafir in New York. I think that's where he is or lives. But
Oh, yeah.
it really, like
The photos don't really tell the story of the temperature, though.
Yeah.
You should put like a little bubble above it that says, "Oh yeah, I'm 85 degrees."
Oh no, I sent screenshots of my weather app.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought you were literally just taking pictures of the outside, like, "Hey, look at the palm tree."
Who moves to New York during I mean, I understand why he moved to New York, but shit.
Yeah, New York's
Fuck
yeah,
that.
great city, but when it's cold, it's just yeah, it sucks. Fuck yeah. Sir, can I make that a double for you? What the fuck are you ordering back there? Jesus Christ. Guys, I mean, what the fuck? Holy shit.
I want the whiskey in one glass, the ice cubes in one glass,
Yeah,
the other glass
here,
I want
just give him this. I just don't want to hear it. My God. What the fuck? It's a live show, people. What do you think? There's a movie screen? All right.
We went to, I know you were out of town, I went to, brought Death Squad to San Jose, and that was a really scary place because the San Jose Improv, if you've never been there, it's an old theater where Houdini used to play. It's just a humongous place, and it's like, what? This is not an improv. But you're really, never going there before. It's really scary to try to, like, sell tickets to something that big, and we, the whole bottom floor was all sold out, so it was great. So we
That
was
is
successful for Death Squad in San Jose.
That is awesome.
And we're going to be in Texas. Tickets just went on sale for me and Tony's Texas tour dates.
That's right.
January 9th, we're going to be in Houston. January 10th, we'll be in Austin. And January 11th, we'll be in Dallas. We're also doing a live podcast in Houston, but they're all on sale right now. So if you're listening to this in Texas, here's your chance.
But the live podcast may or may not be a Kill Tony.
Yeah,
So we don't want to give them the impression that it is, but it might be something fun and different as well,
yeah.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, it seems very hard to do in the next 2 weeks to figure that out.
Right. Unless the Patriot wins the lottery and buys his own ticket.
Yeah.
The Iron Patriot, everybody, our head of security, unmiked, completely unmiked.
Yeah.
Like you say, there's a million new ways to die.
Josh,
I'm the Iron Patriot.
Josh Martin is the most worthless producer.
You can't hear me?
Yeah.
Well, the
You're
megaphone
not-
is
you're not
pointing
mine.
straight up in the air like an erect penis, something I never had in my mouth except once when I...
didn't know what to do. He's not even around to. He's not even around to hear me insult him. The guy whose job it is to keep the Iron Patriot's microphone in front of his
Can
chest.
you hear me now?
You're damn right I can, you son of a bitch. Put your hands together for the Iron Patriot, everybody. He's here. Our head of insecurity.
Yeah. I'm excited about that show you're doing in Dallas, Tony, and I'm going to tell you why. You guys are doing it at a place called the Curtain Club on Main Street in Deep Ellum. This club is owned by an old friend of mine, Doug Simmons. And he used to, before he owned that club, he used to book Dirty Crabber. He got us some of our best shows. And also, you've seen the Mailman video, Dirty Crabber Mailman.
Yes.
It was filmed on that street. So you are going to hallowed ground right there.
Sweet.
And let me tell you a little bit about Deep Ellum. It was a hot spot.
About what?
About Deep Ellum. It's just east of downtown Dallas.
Is that the street?
No, the area is called Deep Ellum. It's on Main Street, and then there's Elm Street. That's the same street that goes down to where Kennedy was shot. You can see that too. But anyway, Deep Ellum in
my
the
God,
20s and
this is
30s was a hot spot.
Unbearable. What are you talking about? What is this, like a fucking...
And the
No, I'm telling you, this
1920s...
is a historical area.
This is like sci-fi meets National
Well,
Geographic.
anyway, I started playing. Blind Lemon Jefferson played there in the 30s. It was a historical place. It lay dormant for a few decades, and then it came alive in the mid-'80s, and that's when I started playing there. And next week, I'm going to do a song.
You started playing there when it became dormant?
No, after the 3 decades of dormancy, I started playing there in the mid-'80s. It was just a warehouse.
You brought it
district.
back.
Yeah, in the 30s, in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, 70s, it was dead, and then it came alive in the mid-'80s, and that's when I started playing there. Now, yeah, and that's
There you go.
next week. I'm going to do a song called "One and One" from a band, my first band, Romeo and the Dreamers. Didn't have time to do it this week, but we'll do it next week.
Like, do you plan these 7-minute rants, like, during the week when you're like, oh, Monday I get to fucking do this thing, and, like, you just vented?
Well, let me tell you something, Tony.
You told us about parts of Dallas that we're never going to need to know about.
When I first first showed up here on June 11th, I thought I was coming to do podcasting. You know, the stand-up comedy thing's kind of a surprise, so I just kind of like to talk. I don't always have to be funny, I don't think. I'm here to do podcasting.
Right.
But, you know, I do enjoy the stand-up comedy. That was a surprise, but, you know, that's why sometimes everything I say isn't funny. I like to give out information. And
we know that sometimes everything you say isn't funny.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, there's definitely, I mean, some things would have to be funny for us to be so confused that we might think that everything you say is funny.
Yeah. You know, I was concerned about you because I saw a picture of you on the plane with Joe coming back from your weekend where
Yes.
you got to see UFC.
Yes.
Somebody made a comment on the Instagram that said they met you in the smoking area. And I was concerned that you turned back to your old ways.
No, I went outside and I had to go up. I went to Joe Rogan and I did the Crest Theater in Sacramento this Friday. It was a lot of fun, sold out show. Sacramento was amazing. And then the next night, Saturday night, I got to go to the UFC with him and sit right behind him and watch people beat the shit out of each other, which was unbelievably exciting. Yeah, but there was one point where I wanted to I used to smoke pot on Saturday. And so when I went there, I had to go get pot. So I walked out to where the normal people are and to where the peasants, anyway. And I got high with somebody. Yeah, you got me there. Good job, Patriot. I smoked pot with somebody. Thank you. You are a blackmailing son of a bitch.
Hey, have you noticed any of the good effects from stopping smoking? Like, have your nostrils cleaned up? Does food taste better?
My nostrils were always clean. Food tastes the same. And, yes, I can run more. My cardio's better.
So that is a positive effect.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and are you still, the thing I hated when I stopped smoking is the urge continued for weeks and weeks. It took a long time to go away. Are you experiencing that?
Well, I have this nicotine pen that I've been using.
Oh, does that help?
Yes, it helps a lot. I get nicotine out of a pen.
Yeah, I didn't try that. I just did
Patriot, we're going to work on our banter for next week.
Yeah.
We got to get a little reset. There's been too much.
You threw me off because I didn't get to do my song. I was planning to do my song this week, but
right. So four more minutes of unbearable bullshit.
No.
That I said we have to save until next week.
No.
Patriot, are you okay? Like last week, I noticed that we were making a lot of noises out of the thing.
Well, I'm an enigma. I work in a mysterious way.
There you go. Well, I love you for keeping us safe, Patriot.
Yeah, I'll continue to do that, Tony.
Why do you have to say my name so weird?
You should, if you ever get a chance, look at his YouTube page, because not only does he have like a lot of music videos, but he has like these short movies he made with like his neighborhood kids and friends and stuff. And it reminded me of like a lot of the videos I used to make. But you rocked some of the most amazing hairstyles back then. Like you have like the huge mullet lion cut hair.
Yeah, my hair went through different stages. It did, because in the right when 85, when I was graduating high school, I went for the mullet, like Duran Duran wore.
Yeah.
And then by the early 90s, I let it grow out all one length. Like,
how come every story you take us through like the 70s, 80s, and 90s? What the fuck are you?
There was one video where he was rocking like the crazy lion mullet, and he had his pants pegged with no socks on, and then just like those Dockers. Remember those Dockers, like penny loafers or whatever they used to be called?
The best is Share My Banana. You got to watch the live video of Share My Banana, in which he hands out his. If you don't know, he was in an unsuccessful rock and roll band in the 90s in Dallas, Texas, and it's like the B-52s meets Nickelback. And what he would do is he has a song called Share My Banana. He would give the audience bananas, and then he would do this shitty song in front of them. And they would throw the bananas at you, right?
Yeah, they not all the time, just a few.
But enough for you to get hit in the head with a banana in your own music video.
Yeah,
There's
video
a part
shows me getting hit, and that's quite painful.
And then the camera cuts away really awkwardly after that, after you put your hand up to your eye like, oh, I just got hit in the head with a banana.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Patriot, I'm glad to have you. Thanks for keeping us safe. Another very, very exciting episode of Kill Tony. So with no further ado, what do you guys say we get this thing started? You know how we do it. I always have two awesome, amazing guests, and this week is no different. My vast account of hilarious friends reaches no boundaries, and another fun week of an example is in front of you. In no particular order, put your hands together for tonight's guests, everyone. We ready to rock? You know him, you love him. He's got a lot of things happening. He has a book out. He's one of my favorite rising comics in the world. Hilarious. I love him as Pig Bottom. I love him on Comedy Central. It's Moshe Kasher, everybody. Hell yeah. And also, one of my favorite people, a good pal of mine, one of the biggest touring comics in the entire world. You know him, you love him. It's Russell Peters! Fuck yeah. How exciting. Fuck yes. We are talking stand-up comedy.
Big table.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Good to have you guys.
Hey. Hey,
How's
I
it
was
going?
Russell. I was thinking, is this like a refreshing break from stardom for you, or like a humiliating experience?
You know what's funny is I think I'm only famous to comics because I could walk around the mall and nobody knows who the fuck I am.
You fill a stadium full of stand-up comedians.
It's true.
That's amazing.
It's true.
We're everywhere.
You should see how many comics show up. They don't like it. I'm just famous to them. It's different.
I saw your special, man, on Netflix. It's really good. You guys should all check out his special. And when you're done
Thanks,
with it,
Moshe.
you should go ahead and click over to things you might like. Look up Moshe Kasher live in Oakland. That's there
Yes,
as well.
They're
It's
both
there.
on Netflix.
He's I've often suggested with me.
Yeah, and I watched it. It was great. It's good.
Thanks, buddy.
Heck
Slightly
yeah.
different scale, but yeah.
And then after that, when you run out of comedy specials on Netflix, go watch House of Cards. I don't have a comedy special on Netflix, so I'm promoting House of Cards. I really like the show.
We could probably get these podcasts put on there. I think.
Yeah, I'd love
What do you
that.
think? Come on, Red Band. You can
make it
fucking.
happen.
That's the future, right?
You're
That's,
that guy. You can make it happen.
wait till Apple releases Apple TV, where it's in the TV, and that's going to bring it to or this new Xbox. Everything's like, hey,
I got one of those actually.
yeah. Have you tried it yet?
I'm not a gamer. I just happened to go to Target one night and I saw it and I was like, "Aren't these hard to get?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, we just got 2." And I said, "I'll take them."
Man,
You're throwing them out the window while you're driving.
Russell, stop rubbing your
I
incomprehensible wealth
sent
in all
it
of
to
our
my-
faces.
I sent it to my friend for his kid for Christmas. That's
Oh, that's
all.
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, I knew, I couldn't figure out when I bought it who it was for, and I was like, I know somebody wants this. And then my friend was like, yeah, Chris just asked me if he could get an Xbox. I was like, I got it.
I bet your friends plant silly seeds like
Oh,
that
yeah,
all
all
the
the
time. It's like, hey, it sure would
Man,
be
my-
crazy if I had a Lamborghini, Russell.
If you want to go out on a lark, I'd love the Hope Diamond, Russell.
Yeah, see? I'll lay a jet.
So funny. I love your. You still have that green?
No. No, that lasted not even a week.
What was it? A green what?
That was a fucking mistake, is what it was. It was a green Bentley.
Wow.
I was fucking duped.
You're straight up hood rich, dude.
That's how I felt driving away. I felt like in the back of their head, they're calling me the N-word when I'm driving away.
That's great.
Look at that dumb brown. No.
Say it.
Not saying it.
I can't say it.
I'm
Not
so
comfortable
happy to
yet,
have
but when
you
I
guys.
get comfortable, it's on like Donkey Kong.
He'll say it. The
Yeah,
robot.
Iron Patriot will definitely say
The robot
it.
will drop an
Hello,
N-bomb.
guys. Hello. Hey, Russell, I did a little reading on you today.
He always.
Now, let me talk to you for a second. You were born in Toronto,
I was born in Toronto.
1989. You started doing comedy.
Thank God you gave the year.
I thought you were going to say I was born in 1989. I
No,
was like,
no. You were heavily influenced by George Carlin. He told you to get on stage anytime you could.
That is correct.
You had a big change in 2004. You got on a Canadian comedy show.
It
The
was-
video went viral.
Yep.
Now, things have been good since then.
They have.
I noticed this year Forbes magazine has put you number 3 of top earning comedians of 2013.
Correct. I got lucky.
Now, Red Band and Tony, can you guess who the top 2 comedians that beat him out were?
I'm gonna guess Seinfeld and Bill Cosby.
You're right about Seinfeld. He's number 1, but number 2 is
Don
some guy
Barrett?
named Fator that's a ventriloquist that
Terry
won America's
Fator.
Got Talent
yeah.
in 2007.
Oh yeah.
Now, Russell, what I want to ask you is, what do you think you need to do to improve next year so you can get number 1 instead of number 3?
Oh,
I think I need a hit sitcom that makes $500 million a year.
I did a little reading on you.
Moshe, I want to talk to you, Moshe.
Okay.
Can I just acknowledge before you get to Moshe that you have? I've noticed the last few weeks because you're our research. I mean, you always do that part that I don't do, where you sort of reintroduce people.
Well, I got more
And I
time
just
than
have
you.
to say, he's number 3 on the Forbes list of comedians. How do you turn that into some weird insult? Like, what do you
Honestly,
think
that's
you
a-
could do to be number 1? Like, that's like, how do you ruin that? How do you piss on number 3?
Well, in football, it doesn't, if you lose the Super Bowl, you're number 2, but that don't mean anything. You gotta get
my
number
God.
1.
All right.
I didn't even make Forbes at all. I was in Mad Magazine's list.
You were the fold out in the back.
That's right.
I bought an ad in the Penny
It looked like
Saver.
a building, and then you fold it, and it was Moshe.
But I'm happy though. You know, it's like what? Me worry? Come on, guys. We're doing Mad tonight. Come on, everybody. Cheers to you.
Yeah, Alfred Newman.
Moshe, I want to talk to you real quick before we start the show.
Looking forward to it.
Okay,
I thought we started the show.
you were born in Queens. You came to Oakland at the age of 1.
Yeah.
You went to Santa Barbara to attend college. You thought you were going to be a professor.
Stop just reading my Wikipedia page.
No, you thought you were
least you
going to be a
have one.
professor in Jewish history. A lot of these people don't know. I'm
Jewish
telling them right now.
history.
That's true.
And everything changed, though, for you. In 2001, you saw one of your old friends doing an open mic in New York.
That's right.
And everything's been good since then. You wrote a book about your life.
Right.
Now, something else interesting about you is you were raised by 2 deaf parents.
Yeah.
Now, what
is
I want
amazing.
to now I've always worried that we're neglecting our deaf fans of Kill Tony. Now, do you think? What I want to say to you, do you think you could do sign language for the rest of the show so the deaf people will know what we're saying?
Yeah, I
Matter of fact,
probably
there's a guy
could.
in
Here,
Africa
how's that
who
look?
can-
To the audience listening at home, I gave him the finger.
We can get that South African guy. He'd be awesome.
Yeah, that dude. What the angel viewer?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
He supposedly was in a gang that killed 2 people.
Yeah, that's why he was throwing
Yeah.
up gang signs the whole time.
Yeah. He did have a bounce to his sign language.
Yeah.
Just when
Why are you guys getting weird about this? What happened?
You don't know what we're talking about?
Wow.
You don't watch the fucking news?
You were on
But
vacation?
Nelson Mandela died. The whole fucking world knew about it.
They didn't have TVs where you went on vacation?
Where were you vacating? Fucking
9/11.
South
What's
Africa,
that?
1988.
I was in Tahiti during 9/11. Wait, no, not World Trade Centers. What? Yeah, Nelson Mandela's funeral. There was a bad sign language.
Should we back up a bit? Nelson Mandela died recently, guys. Yeah, man. Sorry. He just
Fuck yeah.
runs out.
Well, this is so exciting to have you guys. You guys love stand-up comedy, and so what we do is comedians sign up for the opportunity to do 1 minute on the stage.
This katana's not loaded, is it?
No, definitely
Okay,
not.
good.
It broke last week,
Good.
but under the stress of just sitting there, it literally just broke.
I just
at
want to
the
say, though,
table.
to the comedians, there's a lot of pressure on what you're about to do. Like, if you impress Russell, you could be traveling the world getting thrown Xboxes at you in front of 60,000
Right.
people. If you impress me, there's an off chance that you could feature a cancellation week at a Funny Bone in the middle of America. I'm just saying.
You guys know what we're doing. Everybody does a minute. We try to help them out with whatever they talked about before or after that. When you know that your minute's over when you hear the sound of a kitty. That's that cat. And when that happens, you better wrap up, because if you run that light, if you run that sound effect, then you're going to bring out the angry West Hollywood bear. And he sounds extra angry tonight.
That's one angry bear.
So wrap it up when you hear the kitty, and then we chat with you for a bit. Talk about what you talked about, talk about what else you might talk about, just for a few minutes, and we all get through it. Welcome to episode 29 of Kill Tony, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay.
Very exciting. So, shall we? Let's get this party started.
Let's shall.
A record. 44 comedians signed
Really?
up for the opportunity.
Do
to
they
do
all
1
get to
minute
go
tonight.
up?
No.
Yeah, you're here for a long time,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
You're going to earn that green Bentley.
This is your
I got
New
rid of
Year's
it
show.
just for the record, people. I do not have a green Bentley anymore. It lasted 1 week. I drove it home and it sat in my garage for a week.
Why'd you give it up? You just
I
couldn't-
called the dealership. I go, dude, I can't fucking drive this. It's beautiful. I'm like, it's not fucking beautiful. It's fucking green, dude.
So you returned a Bentley?
I did.
I didn't know you could do that shit. I've never returned a Bentley.
It's a $200,000 car. I'm not keeping $200,000 of a.
Did they like
fucking
give you a
hit.
receipt for that or something?
No,
like, how does that work?
I
like
just
some
traded
kind
in
of-
for a different color.
I had a
Purple,
feeling
motherfucker.
because the car's amazing. It's just the color that was like
Yeah, I was going to paint it. They go, oh, don't paint it.
Just wrap
Ruin
it.
the
You could have
car.
wrapped it.
I was going to, yeah, but you know,
Too
then,
much.
then I just said, fuck it, I'll just get a different
You could have wrapped it with advertisements for Chris D'Elia's white white male black comic, and just driven around.
I'd rather have done, Moshe Kasher live in Oakland.
Oh, that's
That would've
nice.
been-
Oh, see
Oh,
that love?
nice.
Sucking
me off.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Fuck
Moshe's
yeah.
been good to me. I can't knock him.
I gave him his start in this business. I don't know if people know that about
He
me.
legitimized me.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, there's probably going to be, I know for a fact, a few comedians that signed up tonight. This is literally, they came here specifically to start stand-up comedy, to do a minute here tonight.
So it's only a minute.
Maybe we'll cover one
I mean,
of
that's
them.
awesome.
I already pulled our first comedian, so let's get this thing started. Your first comedian tonight's name is Ken Garr. Here he is.
So my wife called me on our 1-year wedding anniversary, and she's like, how about tonight you pick up a porno on your way home? And I'm like, okay. So I go to the video store, and I go in that back room with all the creepy guys. I was like, Dad, what are you doing here? It's weird. And I picked up one, and I ran out, like, you got to pay for it. I'm like, shut up. So I picked up one called Naughty Girls 3, and I realized that girls don't get how the whole porno thing works, because she's like, we can't watch this. We haven't seen parts 1 and 2 yet. I was like, it doesn't really work that way, sweetheart. In fact, I've never made it through 2.5 minutes of one of these things. So I turn it on, we're watching it, and I forgot one thing. I hate watching movies with my wife because she talked through the whole thing. At first, she's like, do you think that girl's prettier than me? Then she's like, do you think her boobs are real? Then she's like, I saw the cutest sweater at Macy's today. I was like, did the sweater have 2 dicks in it like that bitch does? Shut the fuck up! So I go storming out of the room, and 2.5 minutes later, I shut the movie off. Thanks, my name, Ken Garr. Thanks so much.
Hey.
Fuck yeah, clocking in at 55 seconds.
Oh, well
Nice,
done.
nice. Just shy. Nice. I like that.
Keeping it tight.
That's right. Ayo.
No, you're not, right?
How did we start?
It all happened really fast. You could just
Well,
say
let's
whatever
say,
you...
here's my first concern.
Yeah.
Not a concern, but it was that immediately when you said your wife asked you to bring home a porno video, I'm like,
Yeah.
did you write this joke in 2005? Because- and I'm like, where the fuck did he find a video
porno
store?
video. So I
Why
go
don't
to
you
the
just
place.
save your money and buy a laptop?
So I go. I get the laser disc. I put it in the trunk of my car.
Could you believe that the tape was chewed? They didn't even rewind. Nobody was kind.
Is it a true story at all?
Yeah. I mean, basically where it came from was watching a porno with my, now an ex-wife. But
When did that
So
happen?
this joke was written a few years ago.
yeah, it was.
So it really was.
You were
really-
married. There was videos.
I had a lot of stock in Blockbuster at the time. It was
Playing
it
a
was
cassette on the way home.
It was a few years ago, yeah. But I mean, it basically stemmed from we watched porno together, but she wouldn't stop talking about just anything. She
What
just
porno would you watch together?
Oh, just anything. I mean,
Oh.
it was just kind of like
Was there a Naughty Girls 3?
I don't know actually.
I'm just saying. I always say commit. Like I have a theory in life and in comedy. Details separate good from great.
Yeah.
So the more real the story is, like the more genuine facts in it, that makes it funnier. Like when people just yell out a number, like I did this 800, whatever the number is. If that fucking number adds up to that, that makes it amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you said you stole it, you're like, "Fuck you!" I didn't like that. Seemed unnecessary, and we don't really believe that you stole a video and started running and going, "Fuck you."
No,
Like,
that
that's-
was a joke. That was a joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
But to the Iron
Apparently,
Patriot,
apparently he's missing the point of the jokes, right, Ben? But
to the Iron Patriot, too many details can also spoil the joke. Just so.
that's also true. So let's not get over.
Right.
I got if we're critiquing, I mean, I got taken out when you called the woman a bitch, but that's a personal thing. I just
Sure.
always feel like when
He
dudes
gets mad when people call him.
when dudes call women bitches on stage for no reason, no humor-based reason, like there's no punchline. It's just like that's a bit. That's
Well,
a
now
bitch on.
that, now that
I
we know
don't
the
know if I- did I
backstory
call
and it's his
her-
ex-wife.
No, it's the woman in the porno.
No. Did that? Oh,
It
wait,
came
yeah,
across
was-
as either way. It came across as like you were extremely mad about something.
Okay.
But one of the things I've noticed is like you were saying, the more detail the better. So like for example, she actually asked you to go out and get a porn video, right?
Sure. Yes.
Did you go by yourself to the video place? So she didn't go with you to pick one out.
No.
So you had to guess what type of thing she might be into.
Sure.
But like you don't take us on that part of the trip. You know what I mean? That might be a part, right? And
Yeah,
then that's
the whole
something.
conversation with her on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good way to.
Yeah, I used to go to the video store back when there were video stores, and I was still living with my mom, and I would rent pornos, and I would go into my room, but the VCR I had, we had lost the remote a long time ago, so I had a broom in one hand that I would fast
At least
forward
what
to
you
the
called it, eh? I had my broom in one hand.
That's the truth. That's a kind of a, but that's true. That so
Yeah.
people want to know that kind of disgusting filth about your real life.
Right.
Just like I watched a porno, my wife talked. We're like, no, I mean, what her asshole look like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
No, I
His
mean,
wife
I'm
or
asking.
the,
I'm asking you, what did your wife's asshole look like?
It was not clean.
Oh,
All
right.
Jeez,
Wow, okay.
wow. That's an interesting approach.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the premise of the joke is she talked through every movie.
Yes.
And I think that's really where the premise of the joke
Right.
is.
I got an idea.
So now you
What-
can take that and then
Yeah.
flip it now.
Exactly right. What if you set it up as my wife asked me to bring home a video, a movie, a romantic movie to watch on our anniversary? So I brought it home. I put it on. She couldn't stop talking
How
through the whole
about
movie.
he doesn't bring home a movie? How about he watches one on TV?
Well, I'm just
or he just
saying.
rents it.
I'm saying at the end of it,
On
then you
the-
reveal it's not Sleepless in Seattle,
Yeah.
keeping with 2005, right? Or
Right.
It's in fact, hardcore gay anal gangbang, which is what I'm assuming you probably did rent in reality.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Or I could just watch it on the Xbox that Russell gives me.
Oh,
So you
well
really
played.
wait,
Speaking of your ex's box,
Was that clean?
I'm still,
Trust me, you'll return it.
But you really went to a video store and you really did that. You
No.
No.
I had a
this
we.
was a completely
So
fabricated
here's
story.
so here's the
So
story.
when you
We-
first said, "Was that true?" and you said yes, none of it was true.
no,
What
I
part
lied
of the-
directly
You might
to
be a
your
compulsive
face.
liar is what the real problem
Yeah.
is here.
So we came home one night drunk, and she's like, "Do you own any porn?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, let's watch it
Wait,
together."
this was your wife?
Your wife on
Yeah.
your
Do
1 year
you
anniversary?
own any porn?
On your 1 year anniversary? That's what she wanted to find
No.
out about
Never
you?
checked the drawers?
It wasn't your anniversary.
It wasn't our anniversary. I just thought it would be.
Was she your wife?
Yes.
Is she real?
Yes.
Were you alone?
At what point?
Right now.
yes. Ken,
Yeah.
we took a lot of time and I felt like we got nowhere with you.
Okay.
Look, these are good notes for you, Ken.
Yeah.
So now when you
Thank you.
when you rewrite this joke,
Yeah.
you can make it streaming or Netflix or
Sure.
or fucking pay-per-view.
Or you porn, or you jizz.
Well,
Okay.
or that. He's talking about his girlfriend now.
Right.
And he's talking about the inside of those weird plastic pants he's got on.
He just jizzed in his porn.
Well,
Thanks for the notes.
Ken, thank you so much. There he
job,
goes.
Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
Ken Garr,
And
comedian Ken Garr on Twitter.
no relation to Terry.
Terry Garr. Is that a figure skater?
Terry Garr, wasn't she an actress?
Who's Terry Garr?
I haven't seen her around in a while, but yeah, she
Was
used
she
to
on
be
again?
Three's Company, right?
No, that was Terry.
Terry.
That was Don
That
Knotts, you
was Priscilla
idiot.
Barnes.
That's a very angry no from people.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mom.
Oh,
Yeah, she
wow.
was blonde and she was cute.
I love how there's in the back somewhere. There's just such a diehard Three's Company fan that when somebody's
That
like,
was
"Was
me.
it Three's Company?"
I'm
they're
the
just
Three's Company. I was like, wait a minute, no. What the fuck? That was Priscilla Barnes and she played Terry.
Here's a new name. It's Sarah Kenny, everybody.
Sarah
Kenny.
So I've been seeing this guy for the past couple of weeks, but I think it's because of all the acid. I mean, do you guys see him? I thought that the barista at my coffee shop had a crush on me because he would always put a little heart in the foam on the top of my latte. And so I was really flattered until I realized that he does it on everyone's latte. So I guess he's just a whore. It's finally happened that I've eaten so many pot brownies in my lifetime so that now whenever I eat a regular brownie, I still get pretty high. So that's a freebie. I think that's a minute. I'm not sure. I started this gluten-free diet recently, but I'm already vegan, so it doesn't leave a whole lot I can consume on this diet. So far, all I've had is vodka, cigarettes, and PCP. I do notice some changes. A lot more energy. I look better, I think. It's hard to say. Isn't it weird sometimes how you can lose weight and become...
There you go. You
Hotter.
hit it. Sarah
Hit
Kenny.
it, Sarah.
So you have like this one-liner thing that you do, huh? Like if you were to do a longer set, would it be like that? A compilation of those?
No.
No. Yeah.
I never did 1 minute, so I just.
I like one-liners
Gotcha.
because I can't write them.
Right. I feel the
Yeah.
same
They
way.
are very difficult to write, actually.
And totally very hard to write, and
'Cause I'm a
can be
story
can
guy.
be a real lifesaver if you are even doing a longer set. You know what I mean? If you lose something or you just want to throw them off real quick and blast them with something, it's fun to have those in the chamber. How long have you been doing stand-up?
About a year.
Nice. How long have you lived in LA?
About a month.
Where are you from?
Chicago.
What's your social security number?
Where are you living?
Culver City.
How do you like it?
It's good. It's good. Just
Yeah.
like straight up Los Angeles.
Are you on a ground floor apartment?
on the second
Just
floor?
for visitation purposes.
Yeah, not a big deal. I had a thought for one of your jokes. Well, first of all, you tell one-liners, but then you kind of add on to them. I thought, like, for no reason. I just thought, like, and maybe that was like a confidence thing. Like, I thought, like, just tell the one-liner, be out. You know, like.
Especially that first one.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the first. It's like, do you see him too? I mean.
Well, you know, the reason I did that is because I've told that joke several times,
Right.
and it's 50-50. Either they get it, or they think that my opinion of men has lowered because I'm on acid. Like, it's saying that I have
Don't worry about those.
beer
words.
goggles. So I actually normally never tag that on.
No, I hear you. Oh, but the other one I was thinking was that you go, I've changed from a gluten-free diet to the vegan, so all I eat now is vodka. What was it? How's it?
Vodka, cigarettes, and
I thought dick at the end instead of PCP and dick.
Okay.
All you can eat is vodka.
I say
cigarettes,
consume,
and dick.
so I can
Consume.
throw a dick in
Yeah,
there.
consume that dick, girl. Do it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Or semen. Yeah, that would be.
Well, you know, if he's in the Navy, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Awesome. What else? I guess that's I really like that whore joke. Like, I'm a real sucker for those late misdirects that just like
Yeah, I like those.
yeah. So that's
you.
fun. Did he really do that? There's some guy that's doing that, putting
Well,
hearts in.
it's a common shape that they will make in the top, but you can see it as a heart or just, you know, them being artistic.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe that's just like you're so lonely, like that you see.
But
a
I
heart.
interpreted it, yeah.
It's like those
I used-
psychology things.
I see tits.
I used to work at a sub shop back in the day.
You worked at a sandwich?
Yeah, a sub shop, and I would like write my hello in the mustard.
Really?
Like a hot chick would come in, and I'd like put my phone number, and then I'd put the bread on it.
Hilarious. Is that
That's how you can get a girl.
It'd be better if you
Someday I will have a green Bentley.
yeah?
I would do that in relish.
Yeah. They'd
Or
read
if you
it.
wrote help.
I have an idea too. The thing about one-liners, and this isn't really an idea that I feel comfortable telling you because I'm not really suggesting you pick a persona, but the really successful one-liner comedian, because really anybody can tell a one-liner. That's the kind of thing about them is like the way Russell tells jokes, like they're really his jokes. You know what I mean? So like a one-liner, the real famous one-liner guys are people that have picked a kind of persona, like Stephen Wright or Dimitri or Mitch or somebody that picks a particular way to deliver what they're doing.
But do what's you though. Don't,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Don't create
Sure.
one.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Even like how you're answering us right now would be perfect. You know that
Yeah.
You know that kind of
Right.
this is what I'm saying. I don't give a shit. You know. No, like in a good way. I'm not saying in a bad way, but like that would really work for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
eh.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, there you go,
All right,
everybody.
thank you.
Sarah Kenny.
Hey, Sarah
There
Kenny.
she goes. She's on Twitter at skenny24.
Kenny 24.
You guys remember when you first started comedy? Did you have any jokes that were if looking back on it, you remember any terrible jokes that you had?
I have a good career of terrible jokes.
No, not for me. No.
My shit was horrible.
No, I had garbage shit back then.
I'm fucking terrible. I was horrible.
You have any examples of like a terrible short joke?
I know the very first time I went on stage, how bad I was. I hate when I hear guys go, "Oh man, first time I went on stage, I killed, and the club asked me to come back and headline." Like, go fuck yourself. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
My shit was terrible. I was like 19.
Do you have it on tape? Did you record
thank
it?
God. So you know what? One of my friends had it on micro cassette because it was 1989, and that was the fucking hot thing to have. And then somewhere he lost it, so thank God for that. You know.
Wow.
It was terrible.
My wife actually asked me to bring home a micro cassette for our 1-year anniversary.
Of audio porn.
Just of you doing
my
your early
set.
set. I remember a very early joke that's very bad. Actually, my first joke I ever wrote was a good joke. But then I had about 5 years of garbage.
Right.
But this is a bad one. You know how every time you burp, people say it smells like salami? That's why I've been eating nothing but salami. So the next time some motherfucker says, that smells like salami, I'll say, that's because it is.
By the way, I fucking love that joke.
I mean,
That's where my sense of humor is.
That
Like,
sort of starts at salami and ends at salami. It doesn't move from salami.
Double-ended that salami.
right. It's like a misdirect. Like you think there's going to be a flip, but it's just like, what?
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's going somewhere with this. Oh, you know what? He isn't
It's on
actually.
salami.
No,
It's just
no.
stayed in the pocket. Trusted.
I wrote my first joke in 1983.
Whoa.
I was in 8th grade.
Wow.
You ever be breaking on the corner with your buddies?
That was at the end of the year. What's up with the wave?
Oh my God. 8th grade.
Remember the exact joke though?
I do. It was just I said it to my friends in class, and it was 1983, and that's when they thought AIDS was just a gay disease. And I said, could you imagine the cover of Time magazine if it said AIDS, who gets screwed in the end? But I was 13. Don't expect fucking gold 13. All right?
That's 13 gold on a weighted
That is
scale.
gold for
Yeah.
13. There's an Easter egg about my first joke ever. It's actually on Moshe Kasher Live in Oakland. I took it, dusted it off, and retooled it. I put the first joke I ever wrote on my first special because I thought it was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
So if you ever watch it on Netflix, it's the-
MOESHE.
It's the schizophrenic pride joke. If anybody's, that's the first joke I ever wrote. It's MOSHE, unfortunately.
That is awesome. Well, moving forward,
No, it doesn't matter.
the next comedian to perform in front of us tonight
Did too, didn't I? I spelled it Moesha.
goes by the name of Bruce Bowman.
The west side with some fat vibes, it's no surprise. Oh, she got tricks in the stash,
shit.
stacking up the cash, fast when it comes to the gas.
Everybody, nice to see you all together. It's great to be in Hollywood with all the interesting characters we got here. Britney Spears was in court and the judge ordered her to child-proof her house. So she got a hysterectomy. Then we got other favorites like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Interesting Hollywood character. By day he's snatching tweakers, and by night he's tweaking snatches. Woof, woof. You know, we love to laugh, and we know humor is healthy for us. And I actually use comedy to cure someone of their schizophrenia. I told the schizophrenic some dirty jokes. The schizophrenic told the dirty jokes to the voices in his head. Well, the voices got offended. Now they don't talk to him anymore.
Wow. Bruce Bowman,
Bruce Boyman.
I fucking love you.
Yeah.
That was great.
Or as we all know him, Uncle Bruce.
It is funny that your last name is Boyman. You're the only real man that will be on stage all night. Like, you are a man. You are a man grown, as they say in Game of Thrones.
Well, I'm from the straight neighbor of Queens, Brooklyn.
shit. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Queens or Brooklyn?
The straight neighbor of Queens,
Oh, right.
Brooklyn.
Oh, right.
Queens is gay because of Queen.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
What
But
part
they
of
love the
Brooklyn are you
band
from?
Queen in Queens. No.
Part of Brooklyn.
Public
Bruce
joke.
Boyman.
Canarsie.
Canarsie.
Narcy, you're a real guy, aren't you?
Canarsie.
I'd love to see him like be roommates with Brody Stevens. It seems like a great matchup.
Positive energy.
So, what union are you in?
Pipe fitter,
Local
75.
chiropractic
Are you a chiropractor?
was.
Oh, okay.
Wow, fuck.
Now you're snapping necks with jokes.
Yeah. Now you're really cracking people up. Woof,
It's
woof.
funny. So happens I met a childhood friend, turned out to be a hemorrhoid surgeon. Yep, I'm not surprised. As a child, he was always a pain in the ass. His parents kept telling him to cut it out.
Look what you did. I knew it was coming. That bear is waiting for somebody to try to throw in another joke. You get 1 minute, you son of a bitch. There's no fucking early bird special here, Bruce.
I gotta say though,
Like Astro Boy, man.
I kind of admired it, like how he kind of pretended to soft shoe, like, oh, that's an interesting point you make. Hey, take my wife, please.
He almost did this right at the end.
Jazz hands.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, Bruce. How long have you been doing stand-up?
7 years as a hobby, 1 year trying to go for the gold.
What made you start wanting to go for the gold now?
I was telling you about problems with the ex-wife.
No, don't you do it, motherfucker. Don't you dare. Don't you think about it.
Drop the punchline. Step away from the joke.
What were you gonna... Wait. Bruce, what were you gonna say? What happened with the ex-wife? Tell us.
If you say you ever notice, we're all going to attack you with this katana.
Well, Tony, you were going to email her, and you did, about my alleged conversion to a gay lifestyle. And she was very impressed with your email.
What
Are you the
fuck?
schizophrenic from your joke?
Took a weird direction there.
Tony, do you email his ex-wife?
Well, you know, after I butt fucked him and everything, I'm like, I should probably... No, I don't know what he's talking about.
No, he's doing another joke. You're doing another joke, right?
There is another setup. Yeah.
That was a setup?
No, I'm not doing another joke, no.
No, I mean, what happened? Did you guys got a divorce?
That's what happens with an ex-wife.
No, you don't remember last time he was
Kinda.
on. Last time he was on, he got a divorce and he moved down here to try his hand on comedy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And you were regaling, you were saying how much, you
were
were
a
tell her how
Gaylord.
gay I allegedly became.
Yeah.
And she was amazed how many penises you photoshopped up my ass,
I don't understand what you're...
This
I don't
weird.
remember what happened. How many weeks ago were you on the show?
Photoshop is.
2 weeks ago.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Photoshop.
Or do you do...
Back
is this-
when I was a kid, you had to go to an actual Photoshop.
The photo mat.
Is this what it's like to be like one of your friends back in the real world? You're just like, or like your kid, like, hey, Dad, how are you? Well, a funny thing happened to me on the way here, son. Do you only do jokes?
My dad?
Oh, boy.
Bruce, you have an awesome style. I love it. We have a lot of comedians to get through. I love what you did. I mean, I can't think of any tags because, again, you're sort of like a one-liner guy yourself, so it's tight thunder. So I
Yeah.
think you just keep moving on. You keep. Oh, please don't
dropping
give a
the biz,
card.
dropping
Jesus
cards.
Christ.
Dropping the
cards.
Hey
business.
guys, we got his card. If an L.A.
Boy,
comedian.
man.
Russell, I think your friend has a kid that would love one of those.
Hey.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do have one note. It's
time to criticize
If you
the
want to
card.
make it in today's hip comedy climate, you got to drop the AOL.com email address.
Wow.
Step it up, Gmail it, Gmail.
And the fax machine is unnecessary.
Now your email is got 45, and is that your age or the year you were born?
Oh. Ouch.
There he goes, Bruce Boyman, everybody.
Bruce
Round one.
Boyman.
So much fun.
He's kind of like that kind of style where the in-betweeners are almost as funny as the
Right.
the joke. Like
Yeah,
the
totally.
show.
Oh, yeah, for
The
sure.
woof woof was just like, I got dizzy when he said that. I'm just like, I don't know whether that's the funniest thing or the dumbest thing I've
That
ever
was like
heard.
a family. That was like an uncle at a party.
Oh,
All right,
totally.
guys,
And
here
it's-
we go.
It's
It's
totally
just me. It's not your uncle sneaking into your room. It's your dog. Woof, woof. Now I'm going to
Yeah.
lick you a little bit, but that's just a dog being a dog. You know what, guys? Let's
worry,
have
I
some
brought
fun
peanut
with
butter.
molestation jokes.
Fuck yeah. Let's just keep it moving along. A record amount of people signed up, so let's get through as many as we can. Jesus Christ, Josh. Really?
He
Oh,
went to
okay.
get our drinks. So,
What a dick.
that was Josh, but he just went downstairs.
What the fuck? Why would Josh sign up?
Exactly. But
Because I'm a comic and I don't get any stage time.
I got excited when I
going.
saw that you were on Wasso.
Washful. Tony.
I feel bad because I do have a tough name for Josh. To say.
Totally. R's and L's are his kryptonite.
So Tony and Wedband are going to introduce you. You know how the show works?
Right, he had to give you the pep talk. That's so funny.
Hey, Joshy.
Your name got called, buddy. Get your ass up here, you motherfucker.
Josh
It's Josh
Martin.
Martin.
But Swizzy, I'm still here. They said I could have been brain dead in the
Oh, hey guys. Don't know what's funny, but let's do this. I want to make it in life, guys. I want to be famous. I want to be rich, like rich as fuck. You know, like, I want to be rich to the point in my life where I'm like, fuck IKEA. I can afford real furniture. Like that level of rich, where I don't have to put together my own furniture. You know? I ran out of breath. I tried to squeeze too many words in a short period of time, and it's fucked. And I'm just gonna bring Bruce Bowman back up, and it's gonna be much. Like I want to make it to the point where I need security with me at all times, you know? Like, not because I feel like I'm gonna get robbed or get killed, but I need someone to keep all these hoes away from me, you know? That's what, I don't know. I'm done. You just give me the cat.
First of all, I have to say that in the middle of that, you hit your time's done. In the middle of that, the absolute funniest fucking thing happened. Russell turned to Moshe and he goes, "Can you sign this for them?"
I have deaf parents, and I used to be a sign language interpreter.
Yeah, we
before I
talked
started
about
comedy
it.
and blah blah blah.
I loved it when you ran out of air. I guess.
Yeah.
What was that word he did?
I don't know. I ran out of air. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't care.
That was great.
At that point.
What happened at the end of the IKEA thing? Did I just miss that? Is
Yeah,
that what
he
you just
ran
asked?
I ran out of air
for the
I
last.
didn't take a breath. So I ran out of air for the last like.
Josh,
Oh my
you
God!
forgot-
You did not just
Like,
say
you
that.
Forgot to fucking breathe.
I forgot.
Josh, next time you could just take a breath and finish the joke. It's not like a contest.
I wasn't ready.
It's not like you're in a balloon blowing contest or something.
Wait, does your nose work? Does it get like? Is it clogged or do you breathe out of your mouth?
He has a code.
I mean, seriously, does your nose work?
Yeah,
fine?
it
That's fine.
works.
Okay.
Hey man, I think you're a good dude. Right on.
Josh, I think you know that I love you regardless of anything.
Not after tonight, guys.
No, you didn't do anything. No, it doesn't matter. No, I can't say anything because you didn't. It didn't. You got nervous, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I
Yeah.
was
Why
just
you
coming
got
up
nervous?
from getting
Yeah,
drinks.
that's
and
why
then-
you shouldn't sign up for the show. Anyway,
Okay, I'm sorry.
What do you think? What was the end of the IKEA joke? Since you ran out of air.
I want
Let's
to
try
get
the
to.
full,
I want to get to the
oxygen
point
word.
where I can say fuck IKEA. I can afford real furniture that I don't have to put together myself. Like I want to get to the point where in my life where screwdrivers are like pennies, like that level of rich. Where because I'm doing better stuff like getting blowjobs on a boat. You know.
Well,
I want
That's the end of the joke. Is blowjobs?
No,
on a boat?
he did a different version of it because he didn't say the word that he went.
By the way, yeah, that was a lot of information to try to get out in that last breath. Now I see what happened. There was like
So-
2 more sentences left.
I don't remember. I don't remember what I was trying to say. I really don't remember.
I think
it was
you get to
furniture.
a point where if you go to like Pink Dot and something comes to $5.01, you give them $5 and a screwdriver. Here you go. Here's $5 and a screwdriver.
These ain't shit to me.
I
I'm
don't
getting my
carry
dick
fucking
sucked on a
pennies.
boat.
Exactly. I mean, that's what you're getting at is the dick sucked on a boat. And it's funny that you're talking about IKEA and putting together shit, and then all of a sudden you're just like, because I'll be getting my dick sucked on a boat. Like, that's truly the heart. I'd get to it faster. I'd lose I don't know what the screwdrivers to pennies thing
I
really.
don't know what that was. It's just
To where the
random
point where
high
screwdrivers,
thing.
when you're rich, like, I'm sure Russell probably had to think for like, for a few minutes, like, what the fuck is a screwdriver again?
No, I have one.
What do you do with it? You hand it to guys to fix shit?
It's funny, the children's toys nowadays need a screwdriver to get the fucking safety shit off.
Oh
it.
yeah.
A female chauffeur.
Josh, are those drinks coming? Or are you in
yeah,
charge
that-
of that?
I was just trying to get some drinks and.
Hey, Josh, you think I can enter one of these?
We got to figure out a thing,
That's
Josh, where we get you on once every few episodes. But you have too much shit to run around and take care of. All these people signed up. We got to make a better system of this.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Yeah, it's let's just bring Bruce back up. It's much more enjoyable.
What happened?
Man, hey,
I'm just making. I'm trying to get everyone to feel sad for me. So
I mean, I definitely feel sad for you right now, like big time.
He's great. He's got no soul.
I'm good.
I've known Joshy for a long
Yeah.
time.
He's
No,
I
no.
think we all have.
Josh is great.
Oh,
Josh
my
Martin, everybody.
Martin.
We love him. He's a staple here.
It's weird when you know them.
Yeah.
It's funny, he's actually like sort of famous from this podcast. Like I've seen a lot of Death Squad fans come
And
here.
he beat up Boone in the.
Yeah.
That's
boxing
true.
thing.
Yeah,
Right.
he
That was
did.
an awesome fight.
Yeah,
Were you
it
there?
was.
Yeah. I was a corner man for Josh Martin.
Yeah. It was so much fun. There was a second where Boone hit Josh so hard that he spoke clearly. Anyway,
It was like he literally went, "The fuck are you doing?
and then he got hit again, and it went back.
What are you doing?"
No, then he got hit again. He goes, "I was getting my dick sucked on a boat."
He almost threw a punch at one point, but he ran out of air. I pulled another name when we thought Josh wasn't. By the way, Josh is at Josh Martin Comic on Twitter. He's the associate producer of the show. He helps us out a lot, and Josh is a great guy. One of my favorite young rising talents and employees here at the Comedy Store. I pulled another name out when we thought he disappeared. It's the lovely Courtney Malay, everyone.
Hi. I just went and saw Blue is the Warmest Color in theaters. It's a French film, lots of scissoring. It just made me realize that I'm about 9 inches away from being a full-blown lesbian. So, it's nice. Everyone keeps talking about, like, turn up, turn up, turn up. But I'm just trying to get everybody to turn down. Like, can we just enjoy a moment? Some point. Also, I don't really understand relationships where like people turn into whoever they're dating. Like he longboards, so she longboards. He watches football, so she watches football. He's in a musical theater, so she grows a dick. It's like. The one thing I do like about relationships, though, is when couples fight in public, you can always tell who has a tiny dick. Because...
You could try to finish it if you want.
All right, you can always...
That was fucked up.
They never should have let Red Band and Hinchcliffe do a podcast together. What was the universe thinking?
It's almost like you were talking about Red Band and then he got mad.
Oh, it sounds like somebody is afraid of knowing who has a tiny dick.
Whoa.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
The bear just hung himself. So, all right.
I got thoughts.
Yeah.
I think you got persona. Like you're kind of like me when I started. Like you're more persona than you are like jokes yet. Like the jokes, not that they're bad. They're just like I think you're pretty much like you just need to be on stage all the time, writing all the time, because like your persona's far out in front of your jokes right now, and eventually your jokes will catch up. How long have you been doing comedy?
Almost 5 years.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's a different thing. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But you know what I mean. I just think
slow catch up.
No, I just think you got a funny energy on stage for sure. You're definitely funny. As soon as you came on, you were doing this like heroin kind of thing. Like I think that's. I'm not trying.
No,
I'm not
it's
talking
very
shit.
true.
You
No,
got a good.
you're dead on.
So what
She
he's
has
saying
unbelievable.
Is, what he's saying is you're obviously funny and your jokes haven't caught up to you yet.
Okay, cool.
You have the confidence of.
No, she's funny. Like you
Yeah.
can tell, like a
Totally.
funny person.
Yeah, you're very, very charismatic.
I agree.
And the jokes aren't at the same level as.
I agree 110%.
You're like a hot.
But here's what
Kristen
Oh, thanks.
That was Russell, by the way.
What'd you say?
She's like a hot Kristen Shaw. What's her name? Kristen.
It's true. It's true.
She's
yeah,
hilarious,
that's a
so
compliment.
thank you.
Here's my thing. 5 years, really?
Just about.
But not every day.
I've been here
How
for
long-
2 years, so I've been doing LA comedy for 2 years.
Where were you
I
doing it for
started
3?
in Washington State.
Okay,
The
so we'll count
Northwest.
that as 2 weeks. So
All
the
right.
2 years, 2 years
So-
in LA. How many times a month are you going out?
This month?
Ballpark the average of all the months. I'm sure this is your biggest
not nearly
month.
as often as I should be. That's
Like
for
how
sure.
often? I'm
yeah,
curious. too.
ballpark it. That's what a ballpark is.
Like 3 times a week.
Oh, I mean,
bad.
that's
That's bad. Are you kidding me?
That's bad if you're
Bad.
living in the
Open
world
micer
that these
status?
fucking freaks are living in, man. You got to have a life. You know what I mean? You can't just fucking sit
But
at
I
the comedy
don't have
store.
a life, and
That's-
I'm still not doing
Well, you do heroin.
Or-
That's something.
You're spending all your money on tattoos, lady.
Oh, just the 2. Actually, my mom bought them for me.
Now that's a premise for
now
a
there
wonderful
you go.
joke.
That's true. You know you come from a fucked up background when your mom's buying your tattoos.
Happy birthday, honey.
It's a swastika.
It's so true. Like that really actually is like a great premise. Like I have tattoos, so a lot of people think that like I come from a fucked up background, but that's not true because my mom paid for these tattoos. Like that is a great joke.
She really loves me.
And if you delve more into true shit like that with your natural delivery and charisma, like it's a slaughter fest.
Oh, I think I got the joke for you. Okay, you start it with what he was saying. My mom bought him for me. Then go with what you were saying. She really loves me. At least that's what the note in the letter that it's something like, you know what I'm saying? Like you haven't seen your mom.
I get where you're going.
Hey, look. Hey, I don't always spin gold either. You know what I mean?
But who is that on your forearm?
Oh, it's my father. That's kind of why she was like down for it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Do you have jokes about having your father on your arm?
No.
No, 5 years and you don't talk about your father being on your. This is what I'm talking about.
What's on your hip?
I got the birth of Venus, you know, Aphrodite. Being
What about your
born
Uncle
out of the
Phil?
shell.
Where's he?
Does your father like to watch you?
She's not the Fresh Prince.
Right. I know. I don't know why I said Phil.
Hey, we got another one. Yeah, right.
I could have said any name
I got my
except for
dad.
Uncle Phil.
My dad. This is my dad. He's tattooed on my forearm.
It's
so.
only awkward with the tattoo when I'm like in a sexual situation.
Well, that's the joke. Every time I masturbate,
He's
my
like
dad's
staring at
every
me.
time I masturbate, my dad's looking me deeply in the eyes,
Oh
and
my
I'm
God.
not, and I'm not talking about my tattoo, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Oh yeah, you know, if you don't like the guy, you jerk him off with your left hand, so your
Right.
dad stares at him. all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
You bring my daughter home at a reasonable time. You hear me?
You accidentally squirt on your
On a
dad?
date, are you?
Right.
Have you squirted on your dad before?
Actually, one person came on my dad and I yelled at him.
You yelled at your dad?
It's amazing.
This is
woman, you've got gold, Jerry.
This is all of your new material.
My boyfriend came in my dad's face. Like that's amazing.
It was really traumatic.
Only you can get that out.
All right.
And you literally
You yelled
have your
at him.
dad on your arm.
Yeah, I did. He thought I was serious.
We just wrote you a fucking whole set. You want to
Yeah.
come on the
Thank
road with
you.
Russell?
I
You don't want none of this
would.
shit.
No, that would be fine.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
Would you rather go on the road, honestly, real talk, with Russell or with me?
I like
Yeah,
you real
yeah.
talk. Yo, real talk.
I
son.
just look like
What
this.
are you, breezy?
Courtney,
if I start to believe you, then yes.
Courtney, you got all that new stuff. I think it's all absolutely
Hey, can I say
hilarious.
something?
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Now she started off talking about that movie, Blue is the Warmest Color.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Why don't you give us a 7-minute synopsis on it, Patriot?
Now that was filmed in 2000.
In the 1980s is actually when that movie was written. It was written by a guy named J.P. Walker, and then it was.
Funny
Now,
thing.
Who gives
watched
a
it-
shit?
I watched it because the SAG sent me the DVD. Now, how many people in this crowd have
Oh, my
seen that
God.
movie?
All right.
Well, he watched
Patriot.
it alone by himself in the movie theater. That's for sure. Because when I went, there were like 2 old lady lesbos, 2 young lesbos, me and my friend, and then like 3 or 4 sprinkled straight guys throughout the crowd. So.
But hey, let me ask you guys though, what do you think about starting your joke with a movie that most people haven't seen? That's not good, is it?
Well, no, I thought it was.
It had
I thought it
nothing.
was going to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
There.
I
I
think
think is
it-
that your way of letting us know that you're smarter than us?
No, I just wanted to bring up scissoring.
Oh.
I think it is good, actually. I think, like Russell was saying, people love specificity even when they don't know what you're being specific about. They feel like you're letting them in on your world. So I don't have a problem with the French lesbian.
Did you guys
erotica
understand that it was about lesbos? Or
We figured that out.
I think they got it.
How many girls have you been with, like, in your personal life?
That's
Here we
none of
go.
your business.
film. Well, we almost got through this whole segment without being sexist, but
Yeah.
you
But,
did it, man. Good.
Brian has a little bit of a knack for that.
Let's just-
You can watch episodes
Red Man.
episodes 1 through 29.
I'm doing fine, so don't worry. Don't worry.
Courtney, you're fucking awesome. There she
Yeah,
goes.
all right.
She's on Twitter at Margaret Malay. That's MOLLE at the end.
I think she's mad at us. I think she's
Oh,
mad at us.
no.
I
She's
think
just
Red Man just fucked the whole thing up.
She's just ragging.
How could she be mad at us? We just wrote her Montreal set.
Yeah, exactly. She's got it.
She's got it. Yeah, for
Charisma.
sure.
Jamar, are you going on tonight?
She's also, if you ever get to see her do
you put
music,
your name in here?
she does great music on stage.
Yeah,
So if you ever get to see her do any of her music.
Very funny. Put your hands together for Dave Gregory, everybody.
Get mine, 2 microwaves, 2 at a time.
Gregory.
What's going on? So I wore skinny jeans today. That was bullshit. Anyways, I have a bunch of roommates, and one of my roommates, he has this thing where he likes to experiment sexually. And it's good, but I just don't like the way he tries to get me involved with his shit. You know, we'd be like watching a Lakers game, and he's like, hey, dog, check this out. If the Lakers win, I pay you $5. But if they lose, you lick my ass. I'm like, what kind of fucking deal is that, man? Or we like, playing, like picking teams for fantasy football. He'd be like, all right, dog, check this out. If you win this season, I pay you $100. But if you lose, we 69. I'm like, all right, dog, what's going on? Are you gay? Like, speak to me. He's like, I'm not gay, man. I just got a gambling problem. That's it.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
That's
All
it.
right. Was that a minute? 45
46 seconds. Yeah.
It's true. Black people are fast.
My roommate was actually Indian. Not even joking. Yeah.
That was real?
Yeah, that's a real joke. The joke. Yeah, no. He liked to experiment sexually, but the scenario was made up.
But he didn't say if the Lakers lose, you lick my ass.
Yeah, that's really gross.
No, he didn't say that, but he did like to. He always talked about getting his asshole licked. So
That's time to move out right there when the roommate.
Well, I live by myself now, so I don't. Yeah, I'm not down with that shit.
Why did you
anymore.
wear skinny jeans?
They were actually bought for me, so I was like, hey, fuck it.
Keep the dildo inside.
Yeah, as a gift. Yeah,
Ass
man,
licking.
I'm not going to be mean.
Ass
I'm gonna wear
licking
what I
roommate.
Have you never had your ass licked?
No.
It's great, man.
I've never.
Is it?
I
It's the
can't-
best,
Fuck
man.
that.
Well, I mean, like,
you guys
if a
fucking
dude-
children?
I will lick a
kids?
woman's
And you're a
ass
freak,
in a
dude.
heartbeat. I'll lick a woman's ass in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But I don't want my ass fucking.
Yeah, get
I
away.
mean,
Why? Hold on. I got a thing about
I'm
this.
afraid of shitting.
Oh,
I got IBS, all right? I don't need to fucking.
because a lot of guys don't do it because they think it's gay. But if there's a woman doing it, it is by definition not gay. By that very definition, it's gay to enjoy
It has
taking a
nothing to do with
shit.
gaiety. I have more to do with I'm afraid of shitting on her face.
Yeah.
Now that I respect.
I don't hate women. I would never let a woman eat my ass because that's
'Cause I don't
disgusting.
wanna
Even if I
kiss her
clean
after.
it, yeah. It's,
What do you mean let her?
oh, fuck
Are there a lot
that.
of people
Just
trying?
do it. I've had it a few times offered. I won't. I'll be like,
They're just
"Hey, fuck
lining
away."
up behind Red Band. Looks like a human centipede.
I will
just-
lick a woman's ass in a heartbeat.
But it is
Well,
amazing
let
that
me-
your
let me-
roommate
let me
has
tell
that.
you that the joke is actually a
okay. I guess
conglomerate.
we're
We're not
gonna
talking
talk.
about your
okay.
joke anymore. We're talking about licking ass, and I have a
He's
lot
talking
of
about my joke. You're talking about licking
That's right.
ass. You
Well,
like-
Well, I'm
Like I was
actually
saying.
talking about
Yeah.
both. I'm talking about your roommate having an ass-licking fetish.
Yeah, I wanna
It's
tell you-
crazy to me because normally you just have to worry about your roommate eating your food in the refrigerator.
Exactly.
Well, he's
Not
trying to eat your
your
food
asshole.
directly.
Yo,
at this
LA's a
point.
crazy place, man. LA's a
Not
crazy
post
fucking place.
refrigerator. Okay,
He likes
go on.
processed food.
All right. If we're, that's horrifying.
Oh my God.
If we're getting off of the ass
Hey,
licking
yo,
tirade,
getting off.
I will say this: I didn't believe it for a second that he said that to you.
Right.
So I would have liked you to lead up to it. Start off with something mild. If you must do the gay.
Yeah, you
Start
gotta
off with
build
something
to that.
mildly gay. You know, like you gotta give me something not even sexual at all, and then into blah blah, and then licking my ass. That's a 1, 2, 3
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, you don't just walk into a ring, start throwing right hands. You throw
Right.
a jab, then a
Work
left
up,
hook,
work
and then you
up.
slip in a right hand or whatever.
Because
However
Fair
you do it.
enough.
Because it starts off too extreme. Because $5
Yeah.
ass eating, that's like way off.
Yeah.
Even if it'd be
No,
even more realistic.
I
if
did
it
like
was,
that because it was like, all right, you give me I'll give you $5, or you eat my like. It's such a fucking crazy comparison,
Right.
which I understood.
It's either
what he was
Abe
trying to
Lincoln
do
or Abe
there,
Stinkin'.
which he did, but then he didn't give us
Nothing?
any other examples of it.
Well, the premise I had before was I was talking about how he liked to get his ass licked, and then I'd go into that bit.
Right, he does only
Yeah.
have 1 minute to get to
Or-
this asshole.
It's
to be
true.
honest with you.
Or maybe say that he always flirted with you, and
Well,
because he was your
the
roommate.
joke is it's like a mixture of two roommates because one roommate was actually like a closet gay. He'd always make gay comments, and then he used to talk about licking his ass, which I thought was kind of gay because there's no masculine way to get your ass eaten.
How come? If it's a woman,
I mean,
it's
if you're
very
bending over, I
masculine.
don't know. Just it's kind of gay, but I mean,
What
I'm
if it's a
not-
lumberjack? That's incredibly masculine.
Could be a power
Hey,
lifter.
dog, let me lick that ass, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
whatever, you know?
By the way, you had me at the N-word. I appreciate that.
yeah,
Hey, man,
it really
that's,
locks
you know.
it
But
down.
another
Are
thing,
you from LA?
Nah,
Where are you from?
Brooklyn,
Oh shit, what part?
East Flatbush.
Hey, Breezy.
Flatbush. I know Flatbush.
BK.
What school did you go to?
Actually,
Brooklyn
I
Tech?
didn't. No, I didn't. Brooklyn Tech. No, I actually grew up in Florida, so yeah.
Okay.
But you're
Haitian.
That's yeah. Damn,
okay,
that's
there we
good.
go.
Yeah, my mom's Haitian. Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell.
You can. You're the only one ever that can tell. So no, yeah.
I grew up around enough black people to know.
I figured you're from New York as well, right?
I'm from Toronto, which is wannabe.
Oh
New
yeah,
York.
the IUCN.
Yeah, they got this one black dude in Toronto. It's crazy.
That's wild. Man.
Jimmy, Black Jimmy,
Vancouver
Black
has one.
Jimmy.
We have all of them.
Oh, you mean nigga Jim? Is that what you meant to say?
Yeah, that's right.
Very funny, Dave. That's
Wait,
Dave.
hold on.
Oh
I
yeah,
wanna-
yeah. Sorry, Dave.
The punchline of the joke is great. It's a great punchline. I got a gambling problem. Great punchline.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be said.
Totally. It is very funny.
And
But I would
and before you
consider-
guys continue in Haitian, like, just what's Haitian for
It's
licking your
Creole,
ass one time?
please. It's Creole.
But okay, right.
You don't say I speak African, do you? Or
I do actually. But like what? Just try
He
it.
speaks Jew fluently.
Yeah,
oh,
I do.
you speak Jew?
Yeah. Just try get your ass like one time before you knock it, man. Come on. I mean, just everybody in here try it.
Fuck it. You know, I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
Report back.
YOLO, man. Yeah.
Totally. There he goes, Dave Gregory, everybody. He's at I am Dave Gregory on Twitter. That's funny stuff,
Dave
man.
Gregory.
I would delve more into all that.
Do you
stuff.
do you let girls lick your ass, Tony? Have
You know, it's
ever?
actually, honestly, it's never happened to me. I don't know how I would react on it. It just seems I'd probably start laughing because I'm a goofball. Like I'm really.
Seems like it'd be ticklish.
I'm a little bit silly
I'd
like that.
stop
Like
chicks,
I
when
can't
they
get
start moving
into.
their hand back. Like, whoa,
Yeah, me too.
Right.
This party's
yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's your birthday.
Yeah. It's like the last thing I need is extra stuff that I might like. Like it's hard enough for me to pull off like 8 minutes in a bedroom.
Oh, see, I'm a savage.
Yeah,
I'm a creep.
It
so
takes you like you need to get
I'm
like
a visual, and I'm a creep, and I'm a visual creep. So
You are a creep.
Moshe,
in the
I am
best
a
way.
fucking
I mean,
creep.
Russell has some of the best stories.
I am a fucking.
Check out the
creep.
Champs podcast. That happens to be
I
my
am a
podcast.
degenerate.
I
fucking
I
pig.
picture you really being kinky. Like you come across like you're the kind of guy that before you even hook up
Yeah,
with a
Moshe's
girl,
a
like you
pig.
just go through like you put on one of those latex bodysuits.
I remember your fucking stories.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm a
my
pig.
God,
I'm the worst.
It's like he's my Jew counterpart.
That's
He's-
right. Yeah, but we're like Jack Spratt and his wife. Like you stare at the feet, and I just get my ass licked the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
This is really nice.
I was looking at her feet.
Where'd you guys go? All right. I know she applauded demonstratively when I said licking ass is good. So if anybody wants to try, like, I'm just saying.
Are you an
Fuck
ass
yeah.
licker or an ass licky?
Yeah.
Whoa,
both ways,
Fuck
both ways.
yeah.
It's
Wow.
Well, I'd lick your ass.
But what?
I mean, if you're letting me. I mean, I'm saying.
He's very
Hashtag just saying.
Whoa.
great. Man,
Josh, where are you?
Buy the drink and eat that stink on this week's Kill Tony.
I put another drink on the
That's
sandwich.
wait, we have our ass eating music ready to go. That's right. This means it's time to grab your baby wipes, everybody.
I miss being single, man. That made me so jealous from the sidelines.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Let's throw another name out here. Here we go. It's this was interesting. Young the Critic. Oh, Young. I've been looking at this guy sitting up there for weeks. This is interesting. Here he is, Young the Critic, everybody.
Hi. So I'm really shy, and I was happy to make my first friend in comedy recently. His name is Jared. He's a black guy. Very, very optimistic. He's like my height, wears glasses and a hat, and I came to think like he looks a lot like another black friend of mine named Assad, who is also very optimistic. My height, wears glasses and a hat. And Assad is even creative too, but instead of doing comedy, he's an MC. So he raps, and you know you have a lot of black friends when they have stunt doubles. And it's getting to a point where I had to let a few friends go at this point. You know, for example, I sat down with my friend Jamoki, and I had to let him know. Listen, Jamoki, I can't fuck with you no more because you remind me of Wandishi.
Yikes. All right, Young.
Those are real names. Those are real friends, by the way.
I'm going to take a guess. This is your first time doing stand-up. Am I right? Am I close to right? Please tell me so, or else I'm going to kill myself.
I've been doing it for 7 years. Pretty much. My whole thing is, like, I like the people behind this show, and I like Death Squad, and I've been having such a fun time that I just wanted to be a part of it.
We're still going to brutalize you, motherfucker. It doesn't work like that.
That's fine.
Exactly.
That's fine. I knew I was going to come up here. I might eat shit, but it's like, whatever. It's fine.
No, I love it. This is like because I've been seeing you for weeks sitting up on the lit up banister area, Young. So what's funny is this is like, you know how Spike Lee sits in the front row at Lakers games? This is like if Spike Lee got on the court and like got fucking dunked on and shit. Because that's what it is. You're a diehard fan.
It's
that
like
decided
I got
to
on the
sign
court,
up.
but had clearly never heard of how basketball was
Right,
played.
exactly.
Anyway.
So you're learning how to dribble in front of
Well, we watched him. We watched him dribble a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you,
this
thank you.
is so then I'm right. This is your first time ever doing any kind of stand-up comedy? Into the microphone.
I mean, you know, like I went up a couple times. I think it was a couple years ago, but it was like at a bar show. It was nothing like this. And and the thing is, like, I am such a big comedy fan that I am cognizant of the fact that, you know, this is a comedy store. It's, you know,
That's
it's
awesome.
a big thing.
No, it's
and,
great.
I had a lot of fun. So I was.
Do you have any idea how
I was honored to
racist
be
it
here.
sounds when you bring up that all your black friends look alike? Did you think about that
I
at
didn't
all?
say
or
that
did
at
it-
all. You weren't
It's actually
listening,
not
Tony.
racist
How
when
dare you?
When a Korean guy does it. Are you Korean?
I am.
Yeah, I could tell right away.
This motherfucker is like the ethnicity whisperer.
He
It's
really
incredible.
is. He knows everything.
I mean, we are in LA. Russell, definitely. I know you know that, but
I know
you know,
we're
it's
in
a
LA,
it's,
yes.
it's a pretty good guess. Yeah.
I
No, it's
definitely know where I am.
it's a pretty good guess. But
Well, wait. Can I ask you a question? Are you going to do it again, or is I mean, should we just like give you a dap and be like, good courage, or like, do you want pointers on the next time?
Good question.
Both, because my whole thing is like I really love this show. I love everything about this show. So to essentially like to bust my nut again, comedically speaking, I wanted to be here. So
I don't
definitely.
think you busted a nut. I just
right.
You know what?
More of a bubble.
Okay, but I tried to hit it at
No,
least,
you
right?
did, and that's
great.
commendable.
No, that's
Most people wouldn't
amazing.
do that. I'm not talking shit.
Young,
I mean,
no,
I am.
it's awesome.
No, no.
Fucking with you, Young.
But he has a great question. It's, did you want to do this to do it, or are you such a big comedy fan that you think you're that big? Because, by the way, we're all really big comedy fans. That's why we end up being stand-up comedians, is because when we were kids, we're watching, you know, Carlin and Pryor and everybody like, what the fuck are they doing? How's that possible? So we're actually all originally stand-up comedy. The question is, and it's a great question, did you do this tonight to do it, or is it something you actually want to do in the future?
Man, I can't retire on this.
Well, there you go. So then the advice is simple. Lose everything you just talked about and go do stand-up comedy every single night because you love it, because you want to do it. And if you don't, then don't do it.
I would start one step before you losing what you talked about tonight. I would drop the Young the Critic thing.
Totally.
Like, I don't know.
Oh no. Okay, so the whole thing was, I was suggested to write a different name to kind of get noticed. So it's
Was
not
that by
like
Jamuki or whatever?
No.
Writing a name to get
Those
noticed.
are my Seattle friends. Those are my Seattle
No,
friends. yeah.
I think that you should not do the
Definitely.
like the critic thing.
Okay,
I mean,
cool,
just,
cool.
What is your
Yeah.
name?
Young.
Young
What's
what?
your name? Hove?
No. I mean, Young's the only part of my name that could be pronounced properly.
What's the other
so,
part?
but,
Yeah, what is it? What's your last name?
Come on.
You're talking to
Make
me,
yourself
for
at
fuck's
home.
sake.
Come on. Look at the decorations of this set. Make yourself at home. What's your fucking last name? You want the sword? You want to hold the sword when you say it?
Young, no, don't give the Korean guys.
You guys been really hospitable, really gracious. I took
love-
up enough time.
Young, can
I
you
wa-
say
I
your
wanna
last
let some
name for
other
us?
comics
He
up.
won't do it. Young's
Okay,
got.
sorry.
Young's
He's
got.
on the run. He's on the run. Guys, give it up for Young.
Fuck yeah.
Young the Baylor.
Wonder why he won't say his last name.
Young's
He must be North Korean.
No.
Last name is Young.
Young's got some cases, man. There's some fucking darkness behind Young the Critic, man.
I have a
That's
friend.
crazy.
I have a
It
friend
is.
named Young Ho.
Really?
Yeah, it's his real name.
Wow.
Twitter.
That's an amazing fucking name. I got.
Young the Critic, that was his first time ever on stage. He's on Twitter at Young is the Man. Wow, that's a good Twitter handle. You got that? Fuck yeah, Young. Hey, give Young a loud round of applause,
Young.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's an awesome person, great fan of the show. I love that you got the opportunity to come up tonight. We're going to move on to our regular portion of the show. We have 2 girls that go up every single week here that have been being built since episode 1 here on Kill Tony. It's very exciting to watch them grow and come up with a new minute each week, and this week will be no different. Those 2 regular girls are here, and we'll start in no particular order this week. Let's go with, she dropped out of college because she started getting regular spots on this show. She dropped out of the University of Florida to chase her comedy career.
Yep.
Here she is, the awesome, the likable Kimberly Condon.
Strapped with infrared beams. Chopping
Hey guys, so we have a new guy at work, right? Comes in, we make small talk. He tells me he's a Jesus freak. I'm immediately turned off. Next day he comes in, he's like, "But can you buy me some weed?" Cool. Third day, brings Adderall. Fourth day, I kind of like this guy. I'm okay with it. And I'm so fucked up. I think it's because I had a weird childhood, you know? Like, my dad never let me watch rated R movies because he thought they were too violent, but he was okay with hitting my mom in front of me. You know? And I was like, "Mom, just leave. Don't be so dependent." And she's like, "I can't. He has good health insurance." I'm like, "That's the reason you're in the hospital." I know. I hate codependent people. I think that's why I hate twins, you know? Like, you couldn't even split your own egg. That's all I have.
Wow, she's getting good at this. 57 seconds on the mark. Magical little set. She opened.
I've known Kim since before she ever rocked the mic.
That's
Really?
true. Yeah.
Wow.
I met her when she first moved out here.
He was one of my first friends.
Oh, because you know
I know
McCullough.
her cousin.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
friends
how
with her
I
cousin.
originally met her, too. That's how she got the spot. We
And
met
then
her.
I heard one day, she went on stage, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
That was here.
Yeah.
And then ta-da!
Here I am.
29 sets later.
Yeah.
A lot better than the last couple weeks. You've definitely had improvement. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Because you seem like you had a little bump, but it seems like you got over that.
Totally,
Yeah.
which is
she
what's
lost
the
the weight.
most important thing, is to be able to, it's not pick yourself up when you're down, but just to come back and be able to, kill it when also, not everybody does great every week, and obviously starting out. So, it's just important that you keep showing these fun glimpses. The last 2 jokes were awesome. The egg splitter and the one before that, which was
My dad hitting
yeah,
my
that's
mom.
that's great. It feels real. It seems
It is.
real.
Okay.
I'd get into that a little bit more. I'd make that one bigger. I'd find a way to extend that. And the Jesus freak one, I don't get it.
Okay.
It sort of like just ends up like, okay, we get it. You like Adderall. That's worth a chuckle since you're so likable. But I don't know why he would tell you. He's a Jesus freaks don't actually say that they're Jesus freaks anyway. So in the beginning of that, I'm like, why would he tell
He
you?
invited me to Bible study when he first
Now we're
came
talking.
in.
Right.
And and then started lecturing me like, "Hey, we're on Bible study." And then the next day was like, "But can you get me some weed?" And
This
the next
is
day was
another
like,
great example of, again, your point from earlier, where the key is in the details.
Okay.
Instead of saying he's a Jesus, he said he's a Jesus freak, which throws me off
You
from the beginning.
figured he was a Jesus freak.
Yeah.
You say he invited you to Bible study. So by the end of day 3, if you're doing Adderall, you go, hey, what do you say we go to Bible study, huh? Some Adderall? You know what I mean? Like, this Bible study could
You're
be
really
fun.
studying the shit out of that Bible at that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And it's all true.
Yeah.
And with Adderall.
yeah. No, I know because it told me.
Yeah.
But also,
All of it.
speaking of details, I think maybe dropping in the phrase "in front of me" would help your joke. He's okay with hitting my mom. Even though it's brutal, it's not as brutal as "in front of me." That's when everybody in here had this like whoa
Okay.
moment.
I was trying to figure out how to not make it as dark and like bring everyone down.
And then maybe there's a way you can turn it to go into some little, cute persona, but because you
Yeah.
got to sell that line. But he was okay with hitting. I don't do cute that well, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
okay with hitting my mom. It was whatever that is, yeah, cute like that, So that because the punchline's great at the end of it.
Sent that to her cousin.
Aww. Adorable.
But yes, I think abusive relationships are kind of funny.
They are. It was hilarious.
As a Canadian, since we grew up with healthcare,
Right.
it's kind of funny that you make a big deal that this guy.
That's
had
what I
healthcare.
wanted to ask.
You're just baffled.
You're lucky you're not Canadian. You'd be a tough hooker. I'll tell you that. You'd be a. Too soon, Kim. Too soon.
Kim, you killed it. You did it again. The lovely Kimberly Condon, everybody. Follow her on Twitter at Kimberly Condon. That's Kimberly with a K and Condon with a C, C-O-N-G-D-O-N. Russell, quick question. I just thought of it. The sandwich shop that you worked at when you were younger, was that a Belly Busters?
That was called Captain Submarine.
Oh, that's cool.
Interesting. I went to a Belly Busters. I know my buddies own a Belly Busters.
Belly Busters is West Coast. So you
Of
must have been in
Toronto.
There was a Belly Busters in Toronto?
Yeah, there's 2 of them. There's one
And
downtown.
I'm from Toronto. Why the fuck don't I know this?
That's why I asked at the
Oh,
Belly
you went
Busters.
to the one way up on Yonge Street.
Yep.
Not that I know, but if I did, that's where it would be located. Oh, that's a great place.
Yeah,
Did
it
you
was
make
awesome.
These fucking massive subs.
It was really good.
Hey, speaking of Toronto, I'll be there this very weekend. Is this dropping soon?
It'll be out probably after this weekend.
Hey, when are you
forget
going to,
it.
where are you going to be?
I don't know. It's some weird string of events. Like I'm doing the comedy bar. And I'm doing some weed club. Where
The Underground. Oh, kiss your life goodbye.
I don't smoke weed, and everybody's like,
"You're going to that?"
Yep.
I know, man. It's like, what am I supposed to?
I was
do?
just-
When are you there?
I was
this
telling-
weekend.
What's the dates? Like you're there Saturday, Sunday?
Thursday, Friday,
Oh,
Saturday.
somebody's opening
I'm-
up at
I'm
Blue
flying
Jays
to Toronto
Stadium.
on Sunday for Christmas.
Whoa.
So if you're there, I
Oh,
mean,
we'll hang
Hello.
out. We'll get a
Fuck
belly
yeah.
buster.
Look at that. Kill
Yeah,
Tony,
yeah.
making comedy friendships bigger.
This is a great podcast.
All right, it's time for our other regular lady that goes on every week. She's fantastic, a little bit different, exciting, different type of energy. It's Sarah Wineshank, everyone. Here she is.
Now you know, nigga.
What's up, everyone? I house sat for a friend. It was weird. They had television. I felt like Goldilocks sitting on their couch just trying to get comfortable. Didn't know what to watch. They had television. I ended up watching Master Chef Junior. While I was sitting on the couch eating Mission tortilla chips, feeling like a piece of shit, watching children that were 10 years old torch creme brulee. They were whipping whipped cream. They were searing ahi, guys. When I was 7, I wasn't even allowed in the kitchen next to the disposal. I spent most of my childhood collecting moths. I thought they were butterflies. I was not allowed in the kitchen. What kind of parent allows their kid into the kitchen? Next to fire, you know, there's peelers. I still can't peel a fucking potato.
There you go.
Yeah.
The classic Sarah Wineshank delivery, where it starts easy and then all of a sudden it's just hilarious.
She's like Jupiter.
Yeah.
Like you're like, wow, that's a great planet, and then the gravity sucks you.
Yeah,
in.
Oh, totally.
Holy fuck, I'm in
into
Jupiter.
that.
Right.
That's good.
I'm into that.
That's a
Yeah.
good thing.
It's a contagious cadence you have.
Yes.
I have a couple of real controversial things to say.
Uh-oh.
You know how they say to young comics, I assume, there's probably a lot of beginning comics that listen to this podcast, right?
Yep.
So they say to all the beginning comics, move the mic stand. And that is something you should always do. No, you did. But there's a much subtler thing that they don't tell people, which is don't look like someone told you to move the mic stand. I swear, I'm not trying to be a dick. Like, that's real. Like, I notice that in young comics, like, I can tell that they're getting on stage and they go, I have to move the mic stand.
Right.
And they move the mic stand.
It feels like a two-step thing instead of it being one smooth.
It's just like, you move the mic stand not because it's like, I have to move it. It's like, I'm just going to get started doing my thing.
Right.
That's just a
Yeah,
personal
this is
preference.
in my way. Let me get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Not poor motor skills. You're not the only person that does it. I've seen it a
All right.
1,000 times.
Right.
Cool.
And the other thing is, I think that I know this isn't very popular at the Comedy Store, but you should probably get out into some alternative rooms as well. I think that you've got great energy here at the store, but I think you would really blossom if you were doing some of the mics that are like sort of on the east side with a lot of the alt kids there too.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are like, alt and our club.
No,
but
I don't think that at all. I totally agree with you
Yeah.
on that.
Well,
Absolutely.
when it makes sense like this.
Right. Yeah,
Right, totally.
definitely. Because you
You
have
got guys
a
who are just
different.
trying to do,
You
regular
are
shit.
different.
Right.
Your cadence is reliant. Yeah, and it makes it hard to help and tag and write for you, but it's fun to watch it grow, and it's fun to see it be mended into something that exciting. We're running out of time, so thank you so much, Sarah Wineshank.
Yeah,
Follow
good
her on
job.
Twitter at Princess Shank. That's Shank SHENK.
You know the other thing,
And I think we need more Jews in comedy.
yeah, more Jews, more wine shanks. The other thing about a delivery like that is like
Darcy.
you never have to worry about somebody stealing your material because that can't be stolen. That's like her thing, and it'll either work or it won't
Right.
work. But no one's gonna take it because that's hers.
You guys got anything coming up that you want to promote in the next few weeks or anything?
Yeah, I'll be in New Year's. I'll be in San Francisco at the Nob Hill Masonic Auditorium.
Awesome.
This is
bad.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Nob Hill Masonic
Where's
Auditorium in San Francisco. For
It's
New
gotta
Year's.
be so great.
Just go to
exciting.
Moshe Kasher, MOSHEKASHER.com for all my upcoming tour dates.
Russell Peters.
Russell Peters' new special is on Netflix.
I have nothing going on
Whatever,
right
you-
now. I literally have nothing going on. I'm at zero.
When
with
I'm on
material.
Netflix, I'm just like, is there anything that's not Russell Peters on this?
Even I get annoyed with
Spanning
myself.
through it. Looking for other things. It's great.
I'm in the writing stage right now, and I'm still at zero.
That's awesome.
So
well, you know, that's
I'm
always
at that feared. You know,
well, that's what's exciting, you know, is to be at a new level with new expectations and to start anew and to have to shoot for the moon.
Remember, I told you a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago. When
and
I saw
we
you.
I felt like we had a great talk about it
Yeah.
because I was talking about perspective and even the Bentley, and I think things like that.
That
are,
was the night I drove here in the green Bentley.
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah,
Oh.
and that's in
What a
fact what got
dick.
it started because I was so confused because it was such a nice car that like it just made me feel weird inside. To be around something
But I'm
so
at zero.
nice.
I'm at zero. I
Yeah.
have nothing right now. So
Is that a good feeling or a bad feeling?
It's a scary feeling
'Cause-
because this next year's my 25th year of doing stand-up.
Crazy.
So it's
wow.
It's extra difficult for me now because you're like, well, how do I stay relevant?
Right.
How do I write without sounding repetitive? And
Pushing it. That's what's next.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is.
I got my next special ready to tape, and I'm afraid to tape it because I don't want to go bankrupt. You know. And
Well, that's where I'm at. I'm
Yeah.
literally at bankrupt.
But you did it. I'm saying that's
Yeah.
courageous to
Yeah.
me. You know,
I love it.
Yeah. Hey,
It's so
Let's-
exciting.
Let's see what happens.
Put your hands together for Moshe Kasher and Russell Peters, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. The Iron Patriot is our head of social media on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter at Comic Patriot. Tons of fun pictures of the shows and news about the shows. Pictures of him being an extra on television shows. It's so funny to follow him. Red Band and I are in Texas.
January 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Austin, Dallas, and Houston. How exciting. And I'm in Youngstown this weekend, so that doesn't matter. And that's pretty much about it. Go to TonyHinchcliffe.com and DeathSquad.tv. Thank you so much, audience, for being here tonight. We're making history, people. Thank you.
Make a right scream.